Hey guys, what's going on? We've got another impromptu video for you here today. Today I want to talk about HELOC accounts, home equity line of credit. I'm going to be reading some notes off my phone here, but I wanted to share this with you guys ASAP pronto because this has been something that has been absolutely life-changing for me. This is something that I've used in my own day-to-day life and financial situation numerous times. And it's actually been massive for me. I mean, having a HELOC account is absolutely life-changing. You can get so much power from having a HELOC account, and I think that if you own real estate, you definitely need to have this because it gives you flexibility like you can't get anywhere else. It's like having a credit card, but at a much cheaper rate. And there's also some other benefits for you. You know, as long as you make your payments, shouldn't affect your credit at all once you've got it opened up, and it gives you flexibility to borrow large amounts of money potentially. So what I want to talk about here today is, again, this is going to be a little bit off the cuff here, so just stick with me. I want to talk about HELOC accounts and how to get one set up. Typically, a HELOC account is a line of credit that you can basically draw from and pay down at any point. So if you need money, you can go to the bank, say, hey, I want to take out a loan against, or, I want to get some money out of my line of credit. And they'll basically just give it to you cash right there. So you don't have to do anything crazy to get this money, and then you can pay it back at any point. And typically, I think with most banks or credit unions, the amount that you pay is generally based off of a percentage of how much is borrowed or what the balance is, and you pay a certain percentage interest rate on that. So for instance, let me give you an example about my HELOC account. I set up a HELOC account on my investment property on one of my rentals, and I got it for $50,000. This at the time was roughly 80% loan to value in addition to the mortgage that I have on the property. So right now the mortgage is probably about 50% loan to value. And when I got the HELOC account set up, it's probably about 2 years ago now, maybe a year and a half, it was at 80% loan to value for the remaining $50,000. So I took that $50,000 and used it to actually be able to use it as a down payment on a new purchase for a duplex that I bought a little bit after that. So that's the first thing. It gives you total flexibility. You can use this as a down payment. As long as you document what your payment's going to be, you can use this money for whatever you want, including as a down payment on additional real estate. So if you got one property and you don't necessarily want to sell it, maybe it's your personal home, maybe you're not moving or anything like that, it's a great way to get some money for a down payment. So I borrowed $50,000 and I pay it was originally at 6.5% interest rate, but now it's actually down to 6% because interest rates have dropped. It does fluctuate with kind of what the par rate is. So I'm now paying 6%, and I do pay 0.0125%, or I should say 1.25%. I calculate it as 0.0125 when I throw it in a calculator for my monthly payment. So if I borrowed the whole $50,000, my total monthly payment would be $625. The cool thing about this too is that actually changes as I pay down that HELOC account. So when I first borrowed that $50,000 for the down payment, I took that $50,000 from the HELOC plus a little bit of my own savings and used it as the down payment to buy a property. And then from there, I had the mortgage on the property. I had to pay off the HELOC account as well. And that was both of those were being paid for by the rent that was coming in from that new property. So I was still cash flowing even though I had very little into this deal. I think after it was all said and done, I had less than $5,000 of my own money into this deal because I'd borrowed most of the down payment from the HELOC account. So this is one of the cool things about having this HELOC account. That's just one example of how you can use it. Other times I've used it to buy stocks, go pull out a bunch of money, put it into the stock market. If you're feeling comfortable and you're gonna be able to pay that off, go put it into stocks. Right now, I've got a lot of stocks that have run up, 10, 20, 30, 200%, like massive gains, and they've gone up massively. Got to take my hat off. Man, it's hot. And so I'm looking at this, I'm like thinking, hey, if I can borrow $20,000, let's say, from my HELOC account, yeah, I'm going to pay 6%, but I should be able to write that off. Again, talk to your CPA. I've talked to my CPA for my situation. He says, yes, if you're paying interest on this, you should be able to write it off as an interest deduction on the mortgage. So you get some tax benefits from it. And then I can go put it into stocks. And hopefully if I make a good pick on a stock, I can have that run up, 50%, 200%, 50%, 200%, 100%, whatever the number is for that for that company, whatever the share price does. So that's another great option of how you can use a HELOC. I've also used it to buy cars, right? I've also used it to qualify for more money for refinances or for new purchases on other real estate deals. I've often, taken the HELOC that I've had, and I will draw money out of that and go pay off my car. And then I sold my car, right? So I actually had a loan on my car. I pulled money from the HELOC, paid off the car so that I could get the title in hand to go and sell the car and make it a much easier transaction. There's no dealing with banks or anything like that. I've got title in hand and was able to do that very easily through the HELOC account. So again, another huge plus like that. I always pay it down, and I actually kind of use the HELOC account as like a savings account. So if I've got money just sitting in my bank account, I will actually try and get that money. I'll pull money from the HELOC to go put into stocks or into a down payment or go put it to work, get it out there, get it in the field. But then as I get money from my job as a realtor or from other sources, I will actually put that money back into the HELOC and just let it sit there. So oftentimes, if you looked at my own personal bank account or my business account, I've got like little to no money, for how much money is coming in and going out every single month. I've got very little sitting in my own personal checking account and savings account and business account, because most of it is sitting in that HELOC account. And if I run low a little bit over here, I'll just go pull out pull back a couple $1,000s out of the HELOC account, put it in my account to pay for, whatever bills I have that come up. So I'm always moving money into it, always moving money out of it. And it just gives you total financial flexibility. So if you don't have a HELOC account, you definitely need to get one. If you've got real estate, put it on your own personal home. A lot of banks will go up to 100% loan to value if it's on your own personal home. If it's on a rental, last I checked, they only go up to 80%. I did hear rumors that one bank would go up to 90%, but the interest rate was not very good. I think it was like 7-8%. So just check with your local credit union or bank, figure out what's going to be the best deal for you. But I mean, if you can get one on your own personal home up to 100%, this gives you a ton of flexibility. There's so many different ways you can use this. And for me, I think it's actually probably one of the best financial tools out there because you can use it for so many different ways. It's literally money on demand. You can transfer money right on your phone. You can actually take your phone, say, transfer it to my savings account, transfer it out of your HELOC into your savings, and be able to use it that same exact day. So it's like instant money, no fees or anything like that. For me to get my line of credit set up, because it was on a rental property, I had to pay for the appraisal. But oftentimes, a lot of banks and credit unions right now are actually offering no fee setup for your HELOC if it's on your personal home. So you can get this set up entirely for free, no fees to set it up, no fees to pull out money, there's no cash advance, there's no setup fees or orientation or whatever, all that garbage that you have with like other loan programs or with credit cards or something like that. So anyways, guys, this is just something I wanted to discuss with you guys. Get a HELOC account. If you own real estate and you've got equity in the property and you're going to use that money for something that's going to be good, definitely go and do that. Even if you've got, credit card debt. Let's say you own your home and you've got $20,000 in credit card debt, but your home has $100,000 worth of equity. There's a good chance you're going to pay less interest on that HELOC account than you will on your credit card, depending on your credit score, what your credit card interest rate is, so just pull it out. Use that money from the HELOC and pay off your credit card and start, capitalizing on what that lower cost is going to be for the interest rate itself. So with all that being said, guys, this is just a quick rambling video here about HELOCs. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.